Well, hello there, and welcome to another beautiful night for an adventure from the couch here on Tommy Travels the Second, and I am happy to report that today is my Friday. That's right, it is Memorial Day weekend, so I took tomorrow off along with all the rest of the long weekend days and don't go back to work until Tuesday. So for you guys, this has already happened, but for me, it's just getting started. And so the reason we're doing an adventure from the couch here tonight is because I worked all day today, and this morning the weather was rainy and cold outside. There wasn't much going on, and it has been like that all week long. So hopefully the weekend is going to be much better, where I'll be able to go out and do some adventures and get quite a bit in, because I've got some time off, which is always nice. Tonight I want to talk about telephone manners. I have worked in phone sales, and I don't mean like telephone sales. I mean calling outbound to customers or receiving inbound customer calls for different companies throughout my whole career. Usually I've always worked with companies who have had a relationship with the customer, and because of that you'd think they would be a little nicer, and for the most part they are, but there's jerks in every industry. But that's not really what I want to touch on. It's just the manners in general. They've been getting worse and worse as time has progressed, and that's what I want to discuss. So if you are brand new to this channel, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on a thing, and I will see you right after this. In my career of working in call centers, I've worked, as I said, in both outbound and inbound. So I've got little things that I don't understand about both. And this one is on outbound. A lot of people still have landlines out there, which is absolutely fine, but why do you have to lose it on your loved ones, your family, the dearest people that are closest to you in life? When your phone rings, there's something about it that just drives people to some other level. It's like they answer the phone, "Hello?" And you say, "Yes, may I please speak to Larry?" And then they'll say, "Oh, okay, just a moment." And they put the phone down, and then they go, "Larry! Larry! Larry!" And you hear this, "What?" "Pick up the phone!" "Huh? The phone is for you!" "Who is it?" "I don't know! Pick up the phone!" Poor Larry. All he's getting is a phone call. There's no reason to lose your whole mind over it, lady. Unbelievable. That happens way more often than you'd think. And it'll be like, "What do they want?" "I don't know! Answer it!" And people just do that. They yell for these people that they supposedly love and just completely lose their minds. There is no reason for that. Maybe you're someone who doesn't act like that. I know I certainly don't. I didn't grow up in a family where we did that. Maybe if somebody was upstairs, the voice was a little elevated so that they could hear you, but nothing like the stuff that I hear multiple times a day in outbound. And another one, if you're doing an outbound call, I understand. Sometimes we call during dinner, and the person could be eating at the other end of the phone, so I give leeway for that. But when it's an inbound call, somebody called me while they're in the middle of eating some kind of potato chips and sandwich, and I don't know what all they're eating on the phone. But if you're going to take some time to call into a company that you have a relationship with to get some sort of product or service or whatever it is, don't call in and be like, "Yeah, hey, here's what I was thinking. Yeah, what is the price of this thing now?" It's disgusting for the person on the other end of the phone. You're lucky that you don't get hung up on because it's absolutely gross and it is so rude for people to do that. I mean, like I said, I understand if it's outbound and we've caught you eating, but even then, put down the sandwich for a couple minutes or don't answer the phone in the first place. And on inbound, for crying out loud, finish your dinner or breakfast or whatever it is you have going before you call into the company that you want to interact a transaction with. The other thing that I don't get on inbound calls is if somebody is like in the drive-thru at McDonald's with a couple friends in the car, what makes them think that that is a good time to conduct some business over the phone? Especially if they already know it's going to be like a 15 or 20 minute conversation where they're going to be asked a lot of information. Is that really the best time to conduct said business? It is not. Take it from me. I have to be taking those calls and listening to those people as I try to guide them down the path of what they're trying to accomplish, but at the same time I'm hearing, okay, I'll have the number 4 value meal supersized with Coke, and hey, do you want anything? Oh, hang on. Just hang on 1 second, okay? I'll be right with you. Hey, do you want anything? Oh yeah, and a large chicken McNuggets, a 10-piece with 2 barbecue sauces, and also another large fries, and a Coke. Oh, yeah, okay, we were saying? Okay, yeah, okay. Oh, hang on. That'll be $26.95. Okay, here you go. Beep, 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 beep. And it's impossible to have a conversation like that. Or even if they're not in the drive-thru, if you're with friends or family that you want to have a conversation with at the same time, don't call and conduct business at that time. Wait until there's a time when you're not distracted, you're by yourself, and you have a few minutes, however long it's going to take to complete whatever business it is you would like to conduct. It makes it a much more pleasant experience for all involved. Also, if you need to conduct some kind of business and you're calling in, try to do it with a phone that has a clear connection. And don't put it on speakerphone and try to get through the conversation. And if you're going to do that, have some patience with the person that you're talking to. Because if they need you to do things like spell your name or give you some type of account number or something like that, here's what it sounds like when you're on speaker in a loud area on a crappy phone. Like, say, for an account number. It sounds like this. What's your account number? It's that's what it sounds like. And people always say it. They rattle it off way too fast. We can't understand anything after maybe like the first digit 3. And everything after that, it's like you can't tell. Especially if there's letters involved with it as well. You better be making sure you're saying like D as in David, because on some connections, you cannot tell if they're saying B or P or V, or you can't. And then, so if the person doesn't understand you, don't go, I said, it sounds the exact same when you do that. And it's very awkward for the person on the other end of the phone to have to ask you 5 different times to get the information out, and it wastes a lot of everybody's time. So just call on a phone that has a good connection, or at least don't put it on speakerphone while you're talking. It's absolutely annoying for all involved. Now, I just want to do a little public service announcement for people who may not get this, because there are a lot of people who don't. If you have a relationship with a company and you don't like receiving calls at all, any types of sales calls or anything like that, that's absolutely fine. I totally understand that. I don't love getting calls either. So if you put yourself on the national do not call list, that is going to bar people from calling you or companies from calling you that do not have a relationship with you. So the people who want to sell you aluminum siding or something like that, they wouldn't be able to call you. But other companies out there that you do have some type of a business or financial relationship or whatever with, they still are allowed to call you in regards to promotional offers that they may have available or a number of things. And so if you do not want to receive calls from them, you need to reach out to the company and get on their do not call list. And once you do that, then you won't get any calls. And you can even opt out of any mailings from them as well. Some people don't even like that. And once you do that, then you should be in the clear. So I just want to make sure that you're aware that the National Do Not Call list doesn't bar you from getting calls from companies you have a relationship with. Now, if you do get some calls and you hate being called by any type of a marketing campaign, whether you have a relationship with the company or you don't, if you don't recognize the number on the phone, on the caller ID, that's fine. Just don't pick it up in the first place. Move on with your day. It'll be a lot less stressful for you. You'll live a much longer, happier life, I think. And if they do happen to leave a message, then you can decide from there if you want to call them back or not. If you do decide to answer the phone, well, it's partially your fault what happens next. Because there is a chance that it could be a company that is trying to offer you some good or service or whatever. And so if that is the case and you're not interested, we are not offended at all if you just say, no thank you, I'm not interested, and hang up. That is absolutely fine with us. In fact, it's preferable to somebody who thinks they're being polite, so they go, and go through the whole 2 minutes or whatever of whatever the spiel is that the person has going, and then go, no, I'm not interested. And that you've just wasted your time and their time. That's why it's preferable when somebody just hangs up. And then the other thing is, if you're going to answer the phone, there's no reason to get all upset and yell and scream and take it out at the person calling you, because it's not their fault. Yes, they do this for a living. It's because they actually do reach people that they are able to help and benefit in a lot of ways. There's a lot of people that wind up being very happy that they called because they can save them money in a lot of cases, and they can help them with some need that they have. That's why they're there. And so just because they can't help you doesn't mean that they're some kind of a jerk and calling them all sorts of names. It gets your own stress elevated to a point where it's not even healthy. So you're hurting your own self by getting all bent out of shape over that as well. So if you're that type of person, just don't answer the phone. Get rid of your phone altogether. I don't know what it is, but don't take it out on the person that's calling, because it is definitely not their fault. Well, you guys, this has been another successful adventure from the couch here today, as we have talked about some telephone manners. And if you guys liked what you saw here today, go ahead and hit like on my YouTube channel. While you're at it, go ahead and hit subscribe and the little bell notification next to it so you can be the first to know when a new adventure comes out. And thank you guys so much for the support that you've given me so far. And until next time, I hope to catch you on the flip side. If you are currently holding a screaming baby, do not call into a business. If you have your TV cranked up to level 100, don't call into a business. And finally, if you are currently taking a bath, do not call into a business.